According to the old concept, in many different cultures, people after death will enter the afterlife. Therefore, life after death also needs to be full of material, having servants. Not only silver, gold, treasures, living tombs are also buried in the tomb. In addition, the servant concubines were also sent to the afterlife with the emperors to serve them. First, we'll get to know about the custom of burying together with the dead. This custom existed in the time of slavery, but in the feudal period, the king still abused it. Not only the slaves, they also forced their concubines to die with them when they died. This means that they have to suffer being buried alive. The custom appeared in the Zhou dynasty and is a terrifying form of burial. When an emperor dies, concubines will be buried after being killed or even buried alive. The highest peak of this custom was during the reign of Emperor Tianxi Huang, when the number of people buried with him was so big to count. The brutality of this custom was thoroughly exposed when the bones of women buried with Qin kin were unearthed. In it, the bones of the legs of the halves aren't closed. After a long time, scientists found out the reason was that when sealing the tomb's door, these women were extremely scared, trying in vain, and finally died from lack of oxygen. Therefore, when being found, the bodies all had very strange postures. When Zhou Zhongzhang died, he also took 46 concubines with him. These are concubines who have never given birth. As soon as the order was issued, the cry echoed everywhere. The concubines in the harem were listed for funerals with. After receiving orders, they were taken into a room with 7 chairs. On a chair with 1.3 meters rope hanging on it, the concubines would stand up and put their necks on the rope and then kick the chair. After that, the great officials whose daughters were killed and buried with the king were promoted and allowed to pass on the inheritance. This custom still continued after that. It was not until the reign of King Kanzi that the custom of burying the living people was completely abolished. According to history books, there were many ways for concubines to die with the emperor, in which the method of hanging is applied the most. In addition, there is also the method of using poison, buried alive, or there is also a method of pouring mercury because the mercury will make the bodies of the concubines remain the shape for centuries. Although most of the concubines were forced to die with the king, there were also those who volunteered to serve the emperor after death. But if these concubines weren't buried with the king, how could they live? After the custom was abolished, childless concubines wouldn't be allowed to leave the palace. They had to stay in one place and be provided with food and clothing by the court. Their lives since then are not luxurious anymore, but they are very comfortable because they don't have to compete with other palace ladies. Thanks for watching the video in Famous People channel. Goodbye and see you later.